So people are asking, how do I get the data in for NFL games into Hudl? So I'm going to show you how we do that. Big thing with this is, first of all, you got to get the film, and a lot of places you can get that, but you can figure out a way to get the film in. I can show you how to get the data. So a couple things that you're going to need to get that film in is you're going to need R and R Studio, which if you just Google R Studio, download and install R Studio, and then you're going to need to get onto the NFL Fast R, and that's where you're going to pull the data from. And I'm going to show you how you can pull that data here in a little bit. But the first thing you're going to need to do is install that. And if this is something that is super out of your league, you might want to have somebody else do this. But it is a pretty, it's something that's coding, whatnot, for computers, writing code. But I have all the prompts that you need that you could use to pull the data. All right. So what I have is I have some of my data right here. I will show you what I am pulling in terms of data for a weekly thing. So let's open up, and I use Parallels because I have a Mac. So I have all of my Hudl columns. I started them with an N for NFL so that it was easy to find. And then what I did was I made a data set that was NFL so that when I'm inputting data, it doesn't have a bunch of stuff in there that's going to cloud up my normal things. So I just made one. I made these columns before I imported anything so that when I import, it imports cleanly. All right. Just so you're aware of that. Okay. Some other things that you need to know for the description part, it can only be 70 characters long. I will show you how to automatically shorten that here as we get going. Okay, so first thing you're going to do, you go into go into our studio, and you open up a window, and you can do one of two things. All right, there are scripts that you can put in here. I have picked that I want the offensive team, defensive team, the yard line based on 100 yards, the down, the distance, the type of play, the gain. The offensive play is my own, scheme is my own, the passer, the receiver, the rusher, and the description. Those are the ones that I am asking our studio to get. I am going to show you how you can, I'm going to show you the script that I'm using. I'm going to paste it in, and I will include it in the bottom in the comments. So let's find our studio. Okay, so I'm going to paste it in. I need to, so this right here would need to get changed to match your game ID. Up here are all of my game IDs. I have those just open right now. You can use ChatGPT to write this code as well. But so I use ChatGPT and asked it to write me a code with these specified columns in it, and then to output it into a CSV, which puts it over here. So if I hit enter, all right, it did that. It put it into a CSV over here, right here. Okay. So now what I would do is I would click on this. I would click rename, and let's go Indieverse GB24. All right. Then I would click on it, and I would click copy to, and I'm going to put it in a specific folder. All right. So boom, there it is. And it goes into that folder. You can see it went into that folder. Now, the other thing, so that I don't have to copy and paste that data every single time, is I had a friend who's really good with this write me a code. And this code, all I do is I drop this in to R and I hit enter. It asks for the game ID. So I go find that game ID that I wanted. I copy, I paste, and it did the exact same thing where it put that game ID right into my folder. All right, let's see. Put that game ID right into my folder. You can see it did it right here. All right, so that is something that I'd be willing to share, but it's only going to have those columns that I put on there because it doesn't, because I have it programmed to do that. All right, so what you'd need to do then is I'm going to go into this file. I'm actually going to use this one over here. They're the exact same, but I'm going to use this one. All right. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this top row so that it matches up with my Hudl columns. So that was my previous one that matches up with my Hudl columns. Okay. Second thing, I need to figure out how many clips there are. There are 150 clips in this game that I'm doing. So I need to make sure that I only have 150 rows of data, which is actually going to be 151 rows of data. But when you bring this in, it's going to have rows for timeouts and it's going to have rows for end of quarter. So you need to find those and delete those rows, because otherwise you're going to have stuff in there that you otherwise will not work in terms of your data set. All right, the easiest way to do that is to look at this description column, and any of them that are incredibly short typically are a timeout or a end of a quarter, end of a half. Okay, so doesn't take you a super long time to figure it out. Okay, I am down to 151 rows. I know that I needed 151 because I have a heading column and then 150 clips. Okay, the last thing that I need to do is that I told you that I had a you can't have what's it called? You can't have more than 670 characters. So this description column, I need to. Whoops. One thing I need to do is I need to get actually copy. Oh, okay. Delete the first row. The first row is the. Oops, didn't like that. The first row is not important, or the first column, I should say. There we go. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to make sure that none of these go over 70 characters. So I go equal left, and I'm going to go K1. I go 69 characters rather than 70, just to make sure that I'm short of it. Oops, what I wanted to do there was I wanted to go K2, not 1. All right, and then I'm going to drag that down. All right, that's going to shorten all those. Take this, paste that. Going to copy, going to paste, going to delete. actually. That's what I do. What I'm going to do is, okay, when I import, I will not import this column, but I will do the end of script, and that will put it in there. There is your command for what you type in. I just have this saved, so I always have it, but that's what you type in to reduce the characters. All right. Okay, so now I can save this. I can go into here, and to import it, I need to go into Hudl Classic. I'm going to open my Packers vs. Colts. I'm going to go import the data. I'm going to choose my file. It's Indieverse GB24. I'm going to import breakdown data. All of these line up. I'm not going to import this one, so do not import this info. Everything else should import. All right, it's going to take a little bit to import, and then from there, you go and you simply just match them up. So I would click on the two, and I would match them up. Okay, so then once you have that in, click them, intercut, it matches up perfect. I put this as a TV angle. And then all right, I had to refresh a little bit, but then as you can see, everything is in, and the easiest way to make sure that things are what they're supposed to be is just find your kickoffs and your punts, and as long as those are matched up, everything is going to be where it's supposed to be. So from there, then you can start tagging stuff, plays, schemes, different things. Makes it easy to sort by, you want to watch everything that was, all of, Dontavius Wicks catches, whatever it might be. You can do so now. So it's a great way to, if you got some scheme stuff that you want to look at in the off season, great way to break some stuff down. Obviously, if it's college film, you're going to have to find the data, but if you can get it into a spreadsheet form and get all the data matched up with the clips, easy way to do some breakdown of some other film. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you something. If you have any questions, let me know.